Welcome to the Brian Murray Show, a real estate show, New Jersey style. Today's discussion point is being grateful. It's the week of Thanksgiving, and everybody talks about being grateful. They're grateful for their health, they might be grateful for their family, they might be grateful for friends or relationships, their job, the things that they own, the things they might have accomplished. So being grateful at this time of the year is pretty common. People will go around the table on Thanksgiving sometimes and say what they've been most grateful for this year. And pretty much you get those same pat answers about friends and family and whatever. But my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to show that you're grateful? It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to live it, to show it, even one day a year. So does that mean that you're going to volunteer somewhere? Soup kitchen, tutoring, someone that might need the help? Or you're going to put together Thanksgiving dinners for someone who might be less fortunate? Or are you going to pick up the phone and call somebody maybe you haven't talked to in a while but you were thinking of, and you just wanted them to let them know how much they've impacted your life in a positive way? Or are you going to write them a little note card and take 2 minutes out of your day and say, hey, thinking of you, grateful for knowing you? There's a lot of ways to be grateful, and I bet you have some things to be grateful for, like the internet, because it's a good chance that if you're watching this show, you have internet. Kidding. But this is the big time of the year to just take a moment and pause and reflect on everything that we have, material and the things that are most important to us. This is today's discussion point. This is Brian Murray with today's hot topic in the Thanksgiving special episode. And it's being real estate grateful. Sometimes when you're a buyer or seller and you're going through the process, it's a very emotional time, and you kind of lose sight of some of the things that are really important. That if you're buying a home, that the home has running clean water. We take that for granted in every home that we buy or sell. Also, that it has heat and a lot of times AC. That these are things that are just a given. And, it's a pretty nice thing that you have the temperature you want and you have water to drink and to bathe and to cook. So, some of those things that, hey, we take for granted as we're buying and selling. But specifically, things like low mortgages. That there was a time when mortgage rates were 10, 14%. Unfathomable numbers that really prevented a lot of people from buying a home or selling a home and moving very much. There's tax benefits. Even though they're lower now than they might have been in the past, there still are some benefits to owning a home via the government doesn't need to give us anything, and yet they still do. So those are some of the reasons to be grateful for the real estate when you're buying and selling. And then dealing with pros out there. There are a lot of people, a lot of realtors that maybe aren't so great, and they give the whole industry a bad reputation. But when you do come across a pro who really can help you navigate through the process in a professional manner, that's something that in any industry I'm certainly grateful for when I come across a pro. So that's today's hot topic. This is Brian Murray with Ask the Expert. I'm here with Hemish Kapadi, a CPA. And today's question is about the mortgage interest cap in the new tax code and some of the nuances of that as you're planning for either a refi, a HELOC, and really understanding what the caps are and what you can do and what you can't do.
The mortgage interest deduction is a major change for 2018 and now 19 because it's on the first $750,000 of your primary home mortgage. And so what that really means is that if you took a mortgage starting mid-December of 2017, you're probably subject to the new caps. So if you took a mortgage of $900,000, obviously you don't get the full interest deduction. You only get on the first $750,000 of loan. Um, Now, in terms of refinancing, same concept. As long as you're refinancing your home mortgage that was used to buy a house, it's still subject to that cap of $750,000. Using your equity line of credit for major renovation work is still within the aspects of being deductible in terms of the interest component. However, it needs to be for renovation work. The combined between your primary home mortgage and your HELOC can't be more than $750,000. So those are some of the nuances.
Okay. And so really in terms of a homeowner, typically people are going to put a 20% down. So you basically looking at a purchase price somewhere in the mid 900s before you start to push over that cap anyway.
Exactly.
And so that's, it's good to know that some people are really concerned about, oh, there's this new cap. But for a lot of people, you haven't quite gotten there yet anyway, so we can just kind of move on and just do that. But obviously for some of those higher end properties in Hoboken, Jersey City, there's unfortunately some pain that's going to be paid there.
Not to mention, if you're renting out those properties, the cap doesn't apply. Which is what we had a lot of people worried about this year when we were doing their taxes, going, oh, I've got rental property, the mortgage interest is so much, can I still deduct it? And thankfully, there isn't a cap on the mortgage interest on the rental properties. There isn't a cap on the property tax deduction on rental properties.
Okay. Great to know. Thanks so much, Hannes. This is Ask the Expert.
The good, the bad, the ugly. Thanksgiving Day. The good. People who work on Thanksgiving so I don't have to. I really appreciate the fact that there are people out there that are working at the gas station and they're working at the convenience store and they're working at all those little shops that when I run out of cranberry sauce and I got to run down to the store to get some, that it's open and there's got to be somebody there that's not with their family that day so that I can be with mine. So the good is people who work on Thanksgiving, and a big shout out to them. And if you do see them, give them a big shout out. The bad, Christmas shopping on Thanksgiving. Now, it's one of those things where, hey, maybe the stores, if they open 7 p.m., 8 p.m., after people have eaten, and you just want to get away from your family, it's perfect. It's really a way to get away or to do it as a group. Because sometimes there are people that you don't see very often, and maybe that's one of the fun activities you do. I don't know, people go to hockey games or watch TV, but some people go shopping. But if you open the stores at noon or 2 p.m., that's people that have to work, although I do appreciate them. Why are we making more people work when they could be with their families? And also, it just puts a burden on everybody else to rush the dinner so they can get out there for whatever the specials are at their favorite store. So the bad is Christmas shopping on Thanksgiving. And the grateful is me. I really appreciate the opportunity to reach out with this show and give my thoughts and hopefully help some people who are trying to navigate the home buying, selling process, or just want some information in general about what's going on within the community. So I'm grateful to be able to do the show and that people actually maybe watch it. Today's inspiration. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Churchill. Thanks for watching The Brian Murray Show. If you liked any part of the show, please follow me on social media, YouTube, Instagram. All of the episodes are on the MurrayPropertyGroup.com. I welcome your feedback and comments. And if there's anything that you disagree about, please let me know, and I'll show you why you're wrong.